Jesus whispers, "My beloved, lean in closer now and let my words settle into the hidden places of your heart. For I see how your spirit has been restless, how your mind has been spinning with memories and what-ifs, replaying moments and conversations as if you could somehow rewrite the past. But I am here to tell you with a love deeper than any ocean, stop chasing what I removed. For I did not take it from you to punish you, but to preserve you, to protect the very soul I crafted with my own hands. And though I know it does not feel like protection right now, though every part of you aches for what was lost and wonders if perhaps I made a mistake or if you somehow did, I assure you this. Nothing I do is ever by accident, and there is not a single piece of your life that has escaped my careful watch, for I saw what you could not see. I heard the words never spoken in your presence. I discerned the intentions masked behind smiles. And I knew that what you were holding on to so tightly was quietly draining the life out of your spirit. And so, in my mercy, I intervened, not because you were unworthy of their love or loyalty, but because their presence was never meant to carry the weight of your calling. And I see how you wrestled with me when I began to close doors, how you pleaded for me to restore what had already begun to fracture. But, child, I'm not in the business of repairing foundations I never laid, and I cannot stand by and let you build your future on relationships, habits, and desires that were never aligned with heaven's design for you. And even as your tears fell and your heart broke under the weight of goodbyes you never wanted to say, I was standing closer than your next breath, catching every tear and whispering over you. This is not the end. It is the beginning of something holy. And beloved, I know how tempting it is to chase after what walked away, to reach back for what feels familiar. But I ask you now, would you rather have what is comfortable or what is divine? Would you rather cling to what you once thought was love or step into the fullness of the love I have for you? A love that will never waver, never falter, never use your vulnerabilities as weapons, but will heal them and make them strong. And I tell you this because I long for you to be free, to release your grasp on what I have removed so that your hands can be open to receive what I am sending. For even now, there are blessings gathering in the unseen, relationships being forged in my presence, opportunities forming that will align perfectly with your destiny. And these cannot occupy the same space as what I took away. And so I whisper again with all the tenderness of heaven. Don't chase what I removed. Don't reopen doors I closed with my own hand. For behind those doors was a weight your soul could not bear and a distraction your spirit could not afford. And child, I know how you love them, how you dreamed of a future with them. But I also know the pain you never spoke, the silent doubts you tried to bury, and I refuse to let you settle for less than what I died to give you. For I have called you to a life of abundance, peace, and joy, not one of compromise, chaos, and confusion. And as you release them into my hands, you will begin to feel the chains of regret loosen, the heaviness of longing lift, and the peace of my spirit flooding every corner of your heart. For I have not removed only to leave you empty. I have removed so I can fill, and what I am preparing for you will make sense of every unanswered question, every sleepless night, and every tear-streaked prayer you thought went unheard. Because I heard, I saw, and I acted, not with haste, but with holy intention. And in time, you will thank me for every no, every closed door, every person who chose to walk away. For you will see that my hand was on you all along, guiding you not to what is easy, but to what is eternal. Jesus whispers, "My beloved," as I continue speaking into the tender places of your heart. I want you to hear these words as if I am standing right beside you, because I am, and I have never left you, not for a moment, not even when you thought I was silent while the ones you loved most walked away. For I saw how you clung to their memory like a lifeline, how you held tight to the idea of what was lost, believing that if only you could have done more, prayed harder, loved better, they might have. Stay, but child, listen to me. It was not your fault, and it was not a failure. It was a fulfillment of my protection over your life. And I know how hard that is to understand in the depths of your pain, because to you their absence feels like an open wound. But to me, it was the only way to shield you from a future where your spirit would have been entangled in cycles of confusion and compromise. For what I removed was not meant to last, no matter how much your heart longed for it to. And I could not stand by as you invested your energy, your tears, and your precious years into something that was quietly eroding the strength of your soul. And so, with the gentleness of a shepherd and the precision of a surgeon, I began to separate you, not because you were unworthy of their love, but because your worth to me is far too great to be tethered to hearts that cannot carry the weight of the calling I've placed upon you. And beloved, I know there were nights you cried out asking me why. Let it happen. Why I didn't intervene to fix what was falling apart, but I was intervening not to repair, but to release, because what you called love was sometimes only an attachment born of fear. What you called loyalty was sometimes a chain wrapped in expectation. And what you thought was your future was too small for the destiny I designed for you before the foundations of the earth. And as painful as it was, I allowed what could not endure the fire of refinement to fall away so that you could rise lighter, freer, and fully prepared for the blessings about to be poured over your life. And I speak this over you now because I see how the enemy has tried to use this loss as evidence that you are unlovable, whispering lies that you are too broken, too much, or too hard to stay with. But I silence every voice of accusation and declare the truth. You are not too much. You are simply too anointed to remain in spaces too small for your destiny. And even now, I am sending my spirit to breathe life back into the dreams you buried beneath the rubble of rejection. For the season of mourning is giving way to a season of miracles, and what I have in store for you will not require striving, chasing, or begging, because it will be sent by my hand and sealed by my favor. And beloved, the next doors I open for you will not close under pressure. The relationships I bring into your life will not fracture when storms arise. And the love I send will not be tainted by selfish motives or hidden resentment, for it will reflect my own heart for you, pure, steadfast, and unwavering. And I whisper this now not to stir hope, but to awaken it. For there are divine alignments being formed in the unseen, even as these words touch your ears. And soon you will encounter people, opportunities, and blessings so perfectly timed and so tailor-made for you that you will know beyond all doubt that they could only have come from me. And in that moment, you will understand why I could not let you remain in spaces and relationships that could not sustain the weight of my glory resting on your life. And I tell you this as your Savior who knows every hidden ache. Don't look back. Don't reach for what I removed. Don't reopen doors I sealed, because behind them was heartache you were never meant to endure and distractions that would have kept you from hearing my voice clearly. And as you let go fully, you will begin to sense a lightness in your spirit, a lifting of burdens you didn't realize you were carrying. And with every step forward, I will give you peace that surpasses understanding, joy that no circumstance can steal, and strength for the journey ahead. For I am not only the God who protects, but also the God who restores. In every place where loss tried to define, you will be filled with blessings so abundant that even your past pain will bow in reverence to my redemption. Jesus whispers, my dearly beloved, as I stand beside you now in the silence where your heart aches and your soul wrestles with unanswered questions, hear me clearly. The removal you mourn was not a loss, but a divine intervention, a sacred pruning that prepares you to bear fruit in season and in abundance. For I am the gardener who tends your spirit with infinite wisdom, knowing precisely what must be cut away so that new life can flourish within you, and though your mind may struggle to. Reconcile the emptiness left behind by what I took. Your spirit is being fashioned into a vessel capable of carrying my glory, my peace, and my unshakable joy. And I see the nights when you questioned whether I had forgotten you, when doubt whispered louder than faith, when loneliness threatened to become your closest companion. But beloved, I have never left your side, and I am now unveiling truths that will change the way you see your past, your present, and your future. For what I removed was never meant to be the anchor of your soul, but the weight that held you back from soaring. And I knew that as long as you clung to what was taken, your hands could not be open to receive what I am preparing to give. And I whisper this tenderly yet firmly because I know how much you loved, how deeply you hoped, and how fiercely you prayed. But my love for you is even fiercer, and my plans for you are higher than the mountains and broader than the skies. And even now, I am orchestrating divine encounters that will not only restore what was lost, but multiply it beyond measure. Relationships sealed in covenant, opportunities ordained before the foundations of the earth, and blessings that will fill the spaces left hollow by departure. And though the enemy sought to use your pain as a weapon, I have turned it into a weapon of victory, a testimony of my faithfulness and power. For every tear you shed has been collected and transformed into rivers of restoration flowing through your life. And I say to you now, do not chase after shadows or remnants of what was removed, for chasing what I took will only lead you into the wilderness of confusion and weariness, but instead fix your eyes on me, the author and finisher of your faith, who makes all things new and who will bring your story to a glorious fulfillment. And beloved, as you walk forward, expect the unexpected, for the blessings I am sending will come when you least anticipate, wrapped in grace and sealed with favor. And those who once walked away will watch in awe as I vindicate you, elevate you, and crown you with honor. And though it may still feel impossible now, trust in my timing, for it is perfect, and my promises are sure. And the pain you feel today is only the precursor to the joy you will experience tomorrow. And so I whisper this over you again. Release what I removed. Do not chase it, for your soul's protection depends on it. And when you surrender fully, you will find a freedom you never thought possible, a peace that surpasses all understanding, and a joy that no one can take away. And my beloved, as this message flows through you, let it ignite hope in the darkest places, light in the shadows, and courage in the midst of uncertainty. For I am with you. I have always been with you, and I will never leave you nor forsake you. And this is the promise I seal over your life with my own blood and eternal love. Jesus whispers, my beloved child, now hear me as I pour out the fullness of my heart over your life in this sacred moment. For I know the weight you carry and the questions that have haunted your nights. And I want you to know beyond any doubt that every removal, every closed door, every painful goodbye was wrapped in my perfect love and divine wisdom. For I am not a God who delights in loss, but a God who redeems and restores. And though it may feel like I took away your joy, your peace, your future, I was actually carving a path of glory for you to walk, a path so holy and so filled with purpose that only the purest love could prepare you for it. And I see now how hard it was to surrender what you cherished, how fierce the battle was in your heart to hold on to what you thought defined you. But child, I whisper with eternal tenderness that what I removed was never meant to define you, for you are not your relationships, your past, or your losses. You are my beloved creation, chosen before the foundation of the world, and your worth is sealed by my blood, unshakable and everlasting. And as I speak this over you, I want you to feel the chains of regret falling away, the heaviness of longing lifting, and the bright light of my presence flooding every dark corner of your soul. For I am with you even now, preparing to unveil blessings so vast they will overwhelm you with wonder. And I promise you, the relationships I am bringing into your life will not be like those you lost, but will be anchored in covenant, loyalty, and mutual honor. For I am raising up a community around you that reflects my heart, who will celebrate your victories, carry your burdens, and walk with you faithfully through every season. And child, I know you may still hear the whispers of doubt, the lies that say you are alone, forgotten, or unworthy, but I declare over you that those lies have no place in your story. For your destiny is too grand, your calling too vital, and my love too fierce to allow anything less than my perfect plan to unfold. And as you step forward in faith, you will find that what I took away was never gone. It was preserved, protected, and positioned for greater things. And soon you will see doors opening that no one can close, opportunities falling into your lap that defy explanation, and favor surrounding you like a shield. And those who once walked away will watch in awe as I exalt you, as I heal your wounds, and as I crown you with honor, for I am the God of second chances, the God of restoration, and the God who turns mourning into dancing. And so, beloved, I invite you now to release fully what I removed, to stop chasing what was never meant to stay, and to open your hands and your heart wide for the abundant, unshakable, and everlasting love I am pouring over you. For this is your new season, a season of healing, joy, and divine fulfillment. And I am with you every step of the way, whispering your name, guiding you with my light, and loving you beyond measure, now and forevermore.